So hello guys, this is Atul from the Practical Tech Solution. So again today we are come up with a new string problem. So let's see the problem and find out the solution. So the problem given here is, so we have a string and the task is to find out the longest substring, which is a palindrome. Okay, fine. So we have to find out the palindrome, the whatever the longest string is there, substring in fact. So we have to check that whether it's a palindrome or not. If it is a palindrome and if it is going to be the longest substring, then we have to return the same. So here in the given example for let's say that C, B, B, and D. So B is there. So now this is going to be the longest substring. Why? Because when I'm going to reverse it, I'm going to get the same. So it means it is a palindrome also. So for that one, let's try to understand, let's try to write the code for it. So let's say public static, for a time being, we are using this void. After that, we can return the statement void, the longest palindrome substring. Okay, and here I'm going to pass the string. Okay, so the very first thing what we have to do is we are going to read the character by character, or basically, in fact, I can say that we are going to find out the substring. It's a simple question. We have to find out the substring, and then I'm going to check that particular substring, whether it's a palindrome or not. If it is there, so what I'm going to do, because there may be the possibility that I can have the number of substrings which are palindromes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it inside the list. Okay, and then I'm going to sort the list so that I can get the based on the length of the substring, and so that when I'm going to sort it, I will get the maximum length at the end of the list. So let's try. Let's see this how it is going to work. So the first thing what we are going to do, let's use a for loop. Int I equals to 0, I less than str dot length, then I plus plus. Now here we have to create a possible substrings, right? So what we can do is like, let's create a new string as a new strings. This is going to be my empty string. Okay, and again, I'm going to use the, so I'm going to use the for loop. And again, int I is equals to, j equals to, what I will do, I will make this one as a I plus 1 every time. Okay, so j less than str dot length. Okay, and then j plus plus. Fine. So now if I'm going to check now, because now I'm going to get the substring. So what I can do is like new string is equals to the str dot substring, and here from I to j, it will give me the substring. And one more thing is like, either it's up to you that whether we want to include the string of single length, because that is obviously going to be the palindrome. But the thing is like, I need anyway, I have to find out the longest one, right? So what I can do is like, so let's exclude those things. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to check that if the new string, whatever we are going to get, dot length, if it is greater than 1, then only I have to check for the palindrome. Right. So what we can do is, let's create a Boolean result here. Boolean result equals to, I'm going to write a one function which is going to return me whether the given substring is a palindrome or not. So is palindrome, and here I'm going to pass that new string. Okay. If it is going to return me true, so if the result, that is if it is coming as a true, then in that case, I'm going to check if that new string or the list which I'm going to have dot contains the new string. Okay, so here I'm going to make it as a, if it is not containing, then only what I have to do, I have to add it inside the list dot add a new string. Okay, so let me create a new list here, list of string, list equals to new array list. Okay, Control Shift O to import the package. Okay, now here what I have to do, I have to check for the palindromes. So now we have to create a function called as a palindrome. So let's say create a new function. Now here we have to check whether the given string which is coming from here, the new string, whether it's a palindrome or not. So what we can do is like here, let's create a one temporary string and assign this one with the new string which is coming as a parameter to this function. Okay, and now what we can do is like in the string buffer class, there is a one function called as a reverse function. So let's use this one. So string buffer. String buffer. And here I'm going to pass this string object as a parameter to the string buffer class. To this, in fact, the string buffer constructor. So new string buffer. And here I'm going to pass this temp. So it will give me the string buffer object. Now what we can do is like, I'm going to reverse it. So in the buffer, in string buffer class, we have a function called as a reverse. Okay, so now once I got this after the reverse, what I'm going to do again, I'm going to convert back into the string object. So to a string method. So let me store it inside some string object. String, oops, reversed string. And now here I'm going to check if the new string dot equals the reverse string. Then in that case, I have to return true. Otherwise, in every other cases, I'm going to return the value as a false. Like this. Fine. So now this value is going to be checked. So if the value is coming as a true, then I'm going to check whether the list is containing this new string or not. And if it is not, then I'm going to store it. Now what we have to do, we have to sort it. So what we can do here is in the collection, there is a one function called as a sort function. So let's use that one. So here I'm going to, yeah, okay. So after this, I'm going to write collections.sort. And here I'm going to use the method reference in order to, based on the length, I want to find out the longest string, right? So first I'm going to sort it. And then when it is, the longest string, substring is going to be the end of the list, right? So what I can do is like, in order to sort it, we have to pass this as a list here. And then in the comparator interface, comparator, Control Shift O to import the package, comparator dot compare int. And here, what is the error here? Comparator. Okay. And here I'm going to pass string method reference, and based on which parameter that method reference, in the sense like here in the string class, we have a length function. So let's pass that length function here like this. So what is the error here? comparing. Yes, I have to make this as a comparing string. Okay, so now once I have a sorted array, sorted list, so what I'm going to print, I'm going to just write sys.out list dot, because the one is it's sorted, so it means the substring with the highest length or the longest length is going to be the end of the list. So let's say list dot size -1. It will always give me the last value from the list. Okay, so now let's run this code. And first we have to call that function. Longest palindrome. And here I'm going to pass this str. Now save it and let's run the code. It should give me the value 3 times b. Okay, so we are getting this 3 times b. This is the longest substring in the given input. So like that, we can write the code for in order to find out the longest palindrome substring from the given string. Understand the concept. See you in another day. Thank you.